The Star Wanderer had always been a beacon of peace and quiet. The ship's sleek silver exterior gleamed in the starlight, and the hum of the engines was like a lullaby to Timmy and Sarah, who were used to its steady, comforting vibrations. That was until it wasn't. A loud crash, followed by a series of high-pitched alarms, shattered their tranquility. Timmy's action figure bounced off the console, and Sarah's carefully arranged drawing of a pirate ship went flying into the air. "Pirates!" Timmy yelped, looking at Sarah with wide eyes. Sarah, though a little scared, was far more pragmatic. "Maybe it's just a meteorite storm or something. Dad always says the universe can be chaotic." Before Timmy could offer a rebuttal, their father, Captain Johnson, appeared in the doorway with a look of grim determination. His broad shoulders blocked the doorframe, and his commanding voice cut through the chaos. "Pirates! They've breached the hull. Emily, get the kids to the escape pods. Now!" Captain Johnson shouted, his usually calm demeanor replaced by urgency. Timmy's eyes widened. "Pirates? Real pirates?" His excitement was barely contained despite the looming danger. "Yes, real pirates. Now go!" Captain Johnson barked as another blast rocked the ship. As Emily grabbed their hands and led them through the corridor, they could hear the sounds of blaster fire in the distance. But the reality of their situation didn't fully hit them until they reached the escape pod bay. "Mom, are we going to die?" Timmy asked in a very matter-of-fact tone, as if he was asking if he could have dessert after dinner. Emily gave him a reassuring smile, though her eyes were filled with worry. "Not today, kiddo. You're going to be fine. We'll get you out of here." Sarah, ever the pragmatic older sister, squeezed Timmy's hand. "Don't worry, Timmy. We'll be back home soon, I promise." The escape pod door sealed shut with a hiss, and they were propelled into the vast expanse of space, the Star Wanderer growing smaller and smaller in the viewport. As the ship was overtaken by pirates, Sarah and Timmy held each other in the uncomfortable silence, their hearts full of fear, uncertainty, and perhaps a small thrill that they were actually part of a space adventure. For days, Timmy and Sarah drifted alone in the escape pod, the endless stretch of stars and black space pressing in on them. Their food reserves were dwindling, and the water ration was starting to taste like nothing but plastic and regret. "I miss pizza," Sarah said wistfully, staring at the small tablet screen she was using to distract herself. "I miss chocolate," Timmy added. "We need to find a way to get some chocolate." "Good luck with that." "We're out of everything except these weird freeze-dried meals," Sarah replied, poking at the nutrient paste with a grimace. Timmy frowned, his imagination kicking into gear. "Do you think the aliens have chocolate?" Before Sarah could reply, the pod's sensors beeped. A new ship appeared on the radar, massive, smooth, and glimmering with iridescent hues that looked like the skin of a giant fish. "Is that a space fish?" Timmy asked, squinting out the viewport. Sarah raised an eyebrow. "If it is, I'm not sure I want to meet the fish." Pod was caught in a magnetic beam and pulled toward the alien ship. The door to their pod slid open, and they were greeted by a strange but calm presence, a group of amphibious beings with iridescent scales, large eyes, and tentacle-like appendages. Timmy, ever the one to act first, waved enthusiastically. "Hi. I'm Timmy. Are you space fish?" The Zogtharians, who looked more like ancient sea creatures than fish, exchanged amused glances before their leader, Captain Zarn, stepped forward. His voice resonated in the air as it was translated through a universal communicator. "I am Captain Zarn of the Curious Voyager," Zarn boomed. "What species are you, little ones?" Sarah glanced at Timmy, trying to hold in her laughter. We're humans. From Earth." "Humans?" Captain Zarn repeated, clearly intrigued. He waved a tentacle, and the crew murmured excitedly. "Fascinating. We have never encountered your species before. You are far smaller than we expected." "We're really good at hiding from pirates," Timmy said proudly. "And we've got a ton of jokes to share." "Jokes?" Captain Zarn asked, clearly baffled. "What is this joke?" Timmy's face lit up. A joke is like a surprise, but funnier. You'll see, Sarah added with a grin. We're good at making people laugh. You might want to take notes. Crew gathered around as Timmy launched into his first joke. Okay, why did the spaceship go to the moon? The Zugtharians looked at each other, perplexed. Why, they chorused. To visit the moonster, Timmy announced with a huge grin. A long, awkward pause filled the room before one of the Zugtharians emitted a strange, melodic trill. The sound was similar to a musical laugh, slightly bubbly, a bit high-pitched, and a little too much for Timmy and Sarah to understand. Well, Sarah said, giggling, at least one of them got it. Captain Zarn looked at them in awe. This is your culture? Humor. Yeah. Timmy nodded enthusiastically. And we're just getting started. The Zugtharians were fascinated by the concept of humor, and soon Timmy and Sarah were regaling them with Earth stories, games, and the occasional bad knock-knock joke. In turn, the Zugtharians shared their culture, tales of the deep sea on their homeworld, their dedication to exploration, and their strange but calming aquatic music. We call it the sound of waves, Captain Zarn explained as he led them through the ship. It calms our minds. Would you like to hear it? Sure, but after we do the chicken dance, Timmy said mischievously. He caught Sarah's eye, and the two exchanged a knowing look. Oh, I don't think they're ready for the chicken dance, Sarah said with a sly smile. But let's give it a try. The Zugtharians, of course, were mystified. They had no idea what a chicken was or what the dance entailed, but they followed the children's lead with much enthusiasm. Watching the long-limbed, tentacled creatures trying to flap their arms and wobble awkwardly had Sarah and Timmy in fits of laughter. It didn't take long for the Zugtharians to take a liking to these humans with their strange ideas of fun. They began to replicate the chicken dance, albeit in their own quirky way. Perhaps we should try a different dance? Captain Zarn suggested after a few more minutes of erratic movement. This chicken dance, it appears confusing. Timmy grinned. Well, Captain, that's half the fun. The next few days aboard the curious Voyager were filled with laughter and bonding, as Timmy and Sarah continued to teach the Zugtharians about Earth's quirky customs. Every day seemed to bring something new, and each encounter was an opportunity to strengthen the connection between the two species. Timmy had a knack for making everyone laugh with his goofy sense of humor, often telling jokes that were as much about delivery as they were about the punchline. The Zugtharians had learned quickly that humor wasn't just about words, it was about timing and energy. One afternoon, Timmy stood in front of the ship's holographic projector, holding a small toy spacecraft. He announced dramatically, Okay, Captain Zarn, I've got a new one for you. Why don't we ever tell secrets on the spaceship? The Zugtharians, still struggling to fully understand humor, looked at each other in confusion. Why? Captain Zarn asked carefully. Because there's too much space for them to get lost in, Timmy yelled, throwing his arms wide. This time, the Zugtharians didn't wait for a beat to laugh. As soon as the punchline hit, the entire room erupted in gurgling, melodic trills and bubbles, laughter in Zugtharian. Sarah and Timmy found themselves laughing too, caught up in the infectious joy of the moment. See, I told you, Timmy said triumphantly. Humans are the best at jokes. Meanwhile, Sarah was spending time in the ship's library, marveling at the vast collection of knowledge the Zugtharians had accumulated from their travels. Books, scrolls, digital records, everything was new and fascinating. She eagerly absorbed the information on their species, their deep-sea homeworld, and their many encounters with other civilizations. Hey, check this out. Sarah waved to Timmy, holding up an ancient Zugtharian artifact, a smooth stone that seemed to hum softly in her hands. I think this might be a gift from their ancestors. Timmy wandered over, looking intrigued. Ooh, ancient treasure. Does it come with a map and a secret dungeon? Well, I think it's just a really old rock, Sarah said with a grin. But it's kinda beautiful. It's like their culture has stories hidden inside everything. Captain Zarn appeared behind them, smiling. That is indeed an artifact passed down for many generations. It holds the history of our earliest voyages. The song it hums is a reminder of the journey that brought us to the stars. Wait, you have songs that go with your history? Timmy asked, his eyes wide. That's so cool. Zarn nodded. Yes, our people have always sung our history. Every important event, every discovery is sung to preserve it through generations. But we are curious, we would like to know about your songs, your stories. Timmy and Sarah exchanged glances, their excitement matching the Zogtharians' own. Songs, you say? Timmy grinned. Well, do you like pop music, Captain? Zarn looked puzzled. Pop music. Wait. I got it, Sarah interrupted, always quick to organize. How about we teach you a really famous human song? It's called Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The Zogtharians looked intrigued. This song. What is it about? It's about stars. You know, those shiny things in the sky, Timmy said helpfully, pointing out the viewport. Oh. So this song is about your stars? Zarn asked, delighted. Very well, show us how to sing. Timmy stood tall, cleared his throat, and started singing in a dramatic voice. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. The Zogtharians mimicked him, but as they did, their voices morphed into a strange, harmonious melody that sounded nothing like human singing. It was beautiful, if not exactly what Timmy had expected. Not bad. Timmy chuckled. Maybe not quite what we were going for, but definitely better than I imagined. Captain Zarn, with his regal demeanor, seemed to beam with pride. We will master this song, he said confidently, and we will sing it as a reminder of your people. Through days of exploring the alien ship and teaching the Zogtharians about human culture, it became clear that their mission was nearing its end. The Zogtharians had been working on a way to return Timmy and Sarah to their home, using their advanced star maps and the last known coordinates from the escape pod. We've charted a course for Earth, Captain Zarn announced, standing before a large holographic display. It will take us several days, but we are confident that we can safely deliver you home. Timmy and Sarah felt a wave of bittersweet emotion. While they longed to return to Earth, they had also grown attached to the Zogtharians. These quirky, tentacled creatures had become their friends in a way they hadn't anticipated. Well, we're going to miss you guys, Timmy said solemnly, but then added with a grin. But don't worry, we'll send you more jokes. I've got 1,000,000 of them. You'd better. Captain Zarn laughed. Perhaps we will even send you a song to remember us by. As the days passed, the children helped the Zogtharians prepare for the journey back. Sarah found herself missing Earth more and more, but she also found herself laughing with the aliens every day. Timmy spent most of his time joking around with the crew, and his infectious laughter became a symbol of hope and light-heartedness aboard the curious Voyager. The Zogtharians, who had once been so serious and enigmatic, now had a sense of humor that had brightened their days. Their leader, Captain Zarn, became fond of the children's pranks, often plotting ways to trick them right back. Do you really think you can outsmart us? Captain Zarn said with a twinkle in his eye as he filled their quarters with harmless but tricky puzzles. It seems you underestimate our fishy intelligence. Sarah chuckled. You'll have to try harder than that, Captain. We humans are the kings and queens of pranks. The long journey finally came to a close as the curious Voyager approached the coordinates of Earth. Timmy and Sarah peered out of the viewport and saw the familiar blue planet coming into view. Their hearts soared with relief. We're almost home, Timmy said softly, his excitement tempered by the realization that this was goodbye to the Zogtharians. Well, Sarah said, holding back tears, at least we'll be able to tell everyone about our alien friends. As the ship docked with the human outpost, Federation ships surrounded them, and human officers approached with a mix of confusion and awe. Captain Zarn, Sarah said hesitantly. Do you think you could stick around a little longer? I'm pretty sure the humans would love to meet you guys. The Zogtharians looked at each other, contemplating. Finally, Captain Zarn gave a nod. We shall remain. Your people seem quite amusing." And so, Timmy and Sarah were reunited with their parents, who had been rescued by a Federation patrol. The joyful reunion was filled with hugs and tears. The Zugtharians, though still strange, had become part of the family, and the children promised to stay in touch. The bond between the humans and the Zugtharians became one of legend. Their shared love for humor, exploration, and understanding forged a lasting friendship that bridged the stars. As the Zugtharians continued their mission of exploration, they carried with them the lessons learned from the children, how laughter could break down barriers and how curiosity could bring species together. Back on Earth, Timmy and Sarah often shared their incredible story with anyone who would listen. And sometimes when they looked up at the stars, they'd smile, knowing that somewhere out there their alien friends were continuing their journey and probably laughing at a new joke they had just learned. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel for more videos like this.